So Brett, for the last year, we've been traveling around the country, speaking at different associations, different chiropractic meetings, sometimes together, sometimes separately. What's your experience been?
Well, you know, I would say within the last couple of years, it seemed like a lot of people were in fear. You know, the fear of that the practices are falling apart, they can't make it, the economy this, the economy that. But what I'm starting to notice now, people who are actually engaging back into the seminar scene, reading books again, personal growth work, they're starting to see a change. Especially here at the Markson Connection, because, you know, as they're being more engaged in the process, their practices are growing again, they're getting out of that fear, so they're coming out from under the rock, if you will, and all of a sudden things are starting to happen again. So they start to see that the power's within themselves.
I've noticed the same thing. You know, like you said, it was a little scary out there. It was a little unfortunate that chiropractors were just not feeling proud anymore. So they just crawled under that rock. They sort of stayed to themselves. And now from our own membership that we can notice the changes in them, it's not just from a personal growth and professional growth, it's relationships, it's financial, it's spiritual, sort of that well-rounded thing that we've been looking to help chiropractors with for the last 2.5 years in the Markson Connection, and it's really starting to take off.
You know what, it's so great to see. It's great to see the energy back in the profession. We're not second-rate citizens anymore, and those that have just a great self-image of themselves are the ones that seem to be getting ahead once again. What I love most is when you have a room full of chiropractors who are enthusiastic about chiropractic, so all of a sudden this collective consciousness starts to go out, their posture change, they're standing up straighter, they're feeling better about themselves, and they go out and they're finally starting to build the practice of their dreams, and I absolutely love to see it.
And what I noticed from the energy inside the room is a year and a half ago, people would sit in the room and it was just a look of help, like help me, please, a searching, a longing. Right. And now, not just that, they're helping each other.
Right.
They know that there's so much talent in the room, there's no question that hasn't been answered within this group, and they could help each other. They don't need to look up to some leader. The answers are already inside themselves. And I think knowing that they already have so many of the answers inside gives them some of that certainty and that self-confidence to go out and be stronger in their own lives.
Absolutely. You know, the greatest resource is the tribe itself. It seems like if someone has a problem, somebody else has the answer. And as they interact with one another throughout the weekend at seminars and so forth, and they come up with the answers, all of a sudden, like I said, their confidence and their certainty really builds. And all of a sudden, like I said, they just seem to be and go to another level, which I absolutely love. So we start with that whole be, do, have thing. And you know, when they start to be that person they want to become, and they start to do the things they need to be, that they need to do, and all of a sudden they start to create what they want. And that's really what it comes down to. So that's the advice that, you know, having traveled all over the country, as we see this more and more, that's what it is. Get out of your practices, get into a room of other chiropractors, of like-minded individuals, use us as your resource. Don't be on an island by yourself. There's no need for that.
Well, when you and I started to mastermind on what we wanted this company to be way back 10 years ago, the whole concept of connection is really sort of hit a home run, I think. What we rooted ourselves in, our ground floor, our foundation, was to create a connection between chiropractors again, and I think that's the key. If they feel connected to something where they don't feel alone, they don't feel scared, but more importantly, they have an excitement, a passion again, that just, it speaks volumes, and it's exactly what we always thought it would be.
Absolutely, and funny that you should say that, passion. I would say that people, a lot of chiropractors have lost the passion to practice, and when they get that passion back, all of a sudden, they're back in the game. And I think that, you know, we have some superstars in this group, and you know, we're starting to attract people who want to be part of something bigger than themselves. And that's why all of a sudden this collective consciousness of this group is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and the concentric rings going out and going out, and all of a sudden, I think they're starting to have an impact on the profession, then out to their communities. Because what's the #1 goal? We really want to help chiropractors influence their patients and get health to, you know, the greater good for humanity.
What about the fact that one of the things we said even in our initial purpose statement was that it's just creating a more significant life for yourself.
Right.
So we now have a member who just authored a book. We have another new member that just authored a book. We have someone that just got onto their state board of chiropractic because they wanted to influence young chiropractors. We have someone who's now influencing one college. We have another member who's influencing another. We have one who's internationally creating politics and creating a strength in chiropractic in a country. So it's not just about raising your volume of patients or raising a couple of dollars. It's really about changing a consciousness of a profession.
And you know what's interesting though? It starts with the individual chiropractor first, and as they start to get more confident and certain, again, within this group, it's amazing that what we can accomplish as a group, as a profession. Because I would say a few years ago, it seemed like, you know, the whole profession lost its passion. Couldn't do it anymore, we weren't good enough anymore. But again, the power of the group, the power of the tribe, it's amazing. We are seeing this. People are just making inroads in politics and senators and all these different things. It's wonderful to see. It's great to be a part of this. The energy is fantastic, and we want to help more chiropractors. And it starts with the individual chiropractor. When they feel better about themselves, that's when it just starts to take off.
And as we continue and as the rest of the year goes, I know our calendar and our schedule of speaking throughout the country, of really getting to go ground floor and meet chiropractors and shake hands and just offer up ourselves to do the best we can to help. I know that that's been our mission and talent and destiny for the last however many years you and I have been talking about it. So as we travel going forward, I'm just excited to shake hands and help and meet people, and not only help the ones that are still struggling, but see the growth of the ones who were sort of out of it and now have gotten their passion. It's just so much fun.
Absolutely.
I'm having a great time.
No doubt about it. And you know, just really to finish up, you know, the four main areas that we've been helping chiropractors with, and I think if chiropractors master these four areas, I think sky's the limit. So as their personal growth, their headspace begins to really improve, because that's what it starts with, your headspace. And as their headspace, you know, improves and so forth, and their philosophy around chiropractic, which a lot of chiropractors, like I said, lost their passion, but as their philosophy gets stronger again, their marketing, their procedures, these are the four key elements to building a practice. So at the Markson Connection, this is what we're coaching chiropractors around, and let me tell you something, the results have been phenomenal. And some chiropractors are stronger in other areas, but we've always said you can only grow as great as your weaker areas permit. But we want to look at all those four areas, and that's why we're starting to see this growth once again.
Well, in fact, just some untidy research. I know that over 80% of our members have broken their all-time record in the last 12 months. And our members are not kids right out of school. Right. These are people in practice 20, 30 years. Twice as long as you and I have even been in practice, and we're still practicing as well. We learn from each other, and we actually learn from them. It's just, it's a system that works from like a tribe, from the leaders down to the tribe members, and the tribe members to themselves. And chiropractors have always been so special. There's something about us that's different than other people. And when they come together in a room like this, for lack of a better term, magic happens.
No doubt about it. So we want to see the magic continue. It's been a fabulous weekend so far, and we look, forward to building lives of significance even more. And so I look forward to the future.